Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're reacting to another episode of Outer Banks. This is Season 1, Episode 4. Before we jump into it, please consider liking and subscribing. Helps so much, helps the channel out a ton. But otherwise, last time on Outer Banks. They had gotten the recording from J-Bones' dad, telling him to, like, if I don't come back, continue the search, find this boat. And where did they? Oh, it had coordinates on it. So they found the exact location of the ship, and they're figuring out when they're gonna go out there. They have to go out there when the weather isn't bad, just so it's safe. They have to get a drone, like a little submarine thing from the shipyard that JJ's dad used to work at. And in order to get that, they have to like pretend that their car tire is, or the tire on their boat trailer is flat. And JJ, he gets caught, but he tells a story kind of about, or he makes up an excuse about his dad beating him if he couldn't get the thing that he needed. And it made me think, maybe does JJ have some like abusive elements in his family? Like, is his dad actually abusive, or what's going on? It might explain some of his behavioral issues, and his like outlandish personality, things like that. But I don't want to assume things without having actual evidence, like seeing it. What else happened? Pope got assaulted by Rafe and Topper. They were golfing, and he was bringing groceries and supplies to people that needed it, because that's his family's business right now, is they support people and get people their supplies. And he got assaulted mainly because he is mainly because he's a pogue. Like, I think in the scene in the episode, it didn't have anything to do with his race, but especially with everything that's going on in the United States right now, it was not enjoyable to see that happen. And it was very easy to make connections to all the brutality that's happening in the United States right now against people of color. So that was really tough for me to watch, especially being from Minnesota, where a lot of this stuff is going down. And then at the end of the episode, they go out and they find the ship. So the episode ends with them finding the sunken ship. Forgot the bad guys that were trying to kill them and find the compass. They're dead. Someone killed them and like put their bodies in the ocean. So lots of big things are happening. And I'm interested to see what's going to happen next. There's how many episodes are in this season? Like 10 episodes. So we're almost halfway through. 8 or 10 episodes. So we're roughly halfway through. And it's interesting. I'm really enjoying what's happening. And I'm excited to see how further relationships and events develop throughout the season. So, once again, thank you for watching. Please consider liking and subscribing. But let's jump into episode 4.
So there's a moment in every kid's life when you feel like anything's possible. You feel like you've got
Sure.
total mojo. You could, I don't know, free climb El Capitan.
Land on Mars, or get elected president.
And then all that talk about free climbing in Mars and the president? Bullshit.
Is it empty?
Magic gets cancer and dies.
The boat's empty.
It's not there. But just pull the drone up.
So they found the boat,
We can do another pass.
and there's no treasure.
Somebody beat us to it.
Hope was never there.
Hey, buddy.
Is that sorry?
And we're here to take you.
No, that's not sorry.
Really?
It's just for a few weeks until your hearing.
Cheryl, look,
It
I'm not
looks
going
like,
into foster care.
She looks
okay?
like she
I'm not
could
gonna
be like
a
an
part of your
older
little
sister
system.
of Zari from Legends of Tomorrow.
Thomas.
I want emancipation.
Emancipation from who? There's nobody here but you.
Asylum, then.
On what grounds?
On solid grounds, on holy grounds. Look, I feel real,
On holy
real
grounds.
prosecuted right now by you and especially Mr. Big Head over here.
What are you looking at, bro? What are you gonna do? You gonna tase me?
Threw some cereal at him.
Okay.
Relax, John.
I give up.
I don't know.
No, stop, please, stop. My picture. It's the last picture of my dad, please. It's not gonna happen, kid. Come
Stop
on, Cheryl,
the
just-
car, you dick!
Please, that's all I've got left.
Look at this idiot. I mean, he's not even looking in the right place. It's gonna get trashed, Cheryl, please. It's my final keepsake of my dad. Are you really gonna let
Yo,
that
he's
happen?
definitely gonna run.
Please. I'm begging you.
Make it quick.
Yes, ma'am.
Yo, he's taking off. There's no way. This was planned.
Later, Thomas!
Deuces, Thomas.
Hey, what's up, Jorge?
What's up, bro?
Hey, look, there's a snow leopard. Sorry, bro. Yo, man, what the hell? I'll give it back, I promise. You better. I swear, I'll leave it at the park. Come on, dude.
He stole your bike. Jorge, I'd be a little more upset about that. Come on.
Is bullshit.
Oh.
Oh, God. He put the chain there.
Did you just yeet over that chain?
Yeet.
Hey, could you take me to the hospital?
I know.
Why would you go to the hospital if the cops are there?
Okay, well, we have to get up.
Thanks a lot.
That's like the super wrong place to go. Oh, he's got to go get the picture. Oh, they're sunken boat. This is gonna come back to bite Pope. I know it.
gonna cost me?
Submerged 24 hours, so you're looking at 25, 30K.
And insurance won't cover it.
My mom thinks that I did it, even though there's no way I could have.
Well, we know who did it, right? It's that little geek Pope.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Rafe, if you wouldn't have jumped him on the golf course, I'd still have a boat, right?
Sorry.
So what are you gonna do about it?
Leave Pope alone.
You got it in that window.
It's gonna hurt.
Close your eyes. You count of 3.
Probably a little bit, at
Ready?
least.
1, 2.
Oh!
You kidding me? My God. Wine like that before.
Who's the dude on the wall?
Oh, it's Denmark Tanny, founder of Tanny Hill. He's kind of a mystery. He showed up out of nowhere and paid for all of the land around here in gold.
He found the boat.
I'm not finished, Sancho.
He was on the Royal Merchant.
He sank the boat.
But there's no survivors.
He was the lone survivor. TM.
Hey, what else do you know about this guy?
That's so sketchy.
They know.
What?
They know.
Alright, chill, bro, alright? We don't know shit.
Top knows they sunk his boat.
They know.
Enough with the regret, bro. They caved your face in. They hit us, we hit them. It's the law of the jungle.
Now, if any kooks
Now they're gonna hit him back, though.
ask if you had anything to
But just for safety, don't go anywhere without
Don't give Pope that gun. I swear to God, don't give Pope that gun. Do you know how bad that looks? Especially with things that are going on now. It's just asking for trouble.
A couple things to show.
We just gotta talk our way out of this budge.
Okay.
I got this.
Okay.
These are my people. Just wait.
It's definitely not gonna work. Or yeah, just grab those. That's fine.
Okay, grab a tank. Oh my God. Okay. 3, 2, 1. 1. 2, 3. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116, 117, 118,
typical. Come on.
Yeah.
Tell your boy that we know what he did.
Sorry, what boy are you talking about?
He'll know.
Great, the whole death squad. I'm stand up. Just waiting here, bro.
Yeah, this stupid move sinking the boat.
What did y'all do?
Just tell her the truth. Why are you taking your shirt off? What? Why was that necessary?
What did you see in the painting?
Secret
I can't tell you,
code.
okay?
Why?
Because it's for your own safety.
Okay, but something made you want to go to the archives, obviously.
Look, somebody who was supposed to be dead wasn't, all right?
Like your dad?
Yeah, okay, yeah. So you know how whales make those deep noises? It's like a...
Yep, we learned that from Finding Nemo.
I can hear him calling to me. Like he needs my help.
First, there's too much water in the lungs, and that tells me that they were dead before they hit the water, not after. Then there's this. Same type of wounds on both corpses.
What is it?
Defensive wounds
Ooh,
from gas.
gross.
Gaff hook.
Yeah, you know that thing that you spear your fish with?
I know what a gaff hook is.
My take is that whoever did this was trying to destroy evidence. So they gaffed them and rolled them overboard and let the sharks do the rest.
Some bad men.
I promise you they will not let us in looking like we crawled out of a swamp.
Time to go shopping. Get some new clothes on this date. This is a straight up date. They're on a date right now.
Aw. You look like you're ready for the middle school dance.
I look like I got kicked out of the barbershop quintet.
Mr. Ike, what about seersucker?
Why doesn't he have a shirt?
Jazzy. Pull your fly up.
Got it.
Honestly, some of this all memories.
They would roast the shit out of you.
Since you got to dress me, feeling all spiffy, I could dress you.
Bring it.
Wow, it looks great.
How do I put this on?
Is that a lavender or plum?
This dress comes with built-in nunchucks.
Built-in nunchucks. That sounds dope. I want an outfit with built-in nunchucks.
Wow.
He's okay with that one.
You look clean. I mean, you clean up nice.
You look clean.
You have a way with words.
Now,
Nice.
kid.
Why did you come?
Come on, moi.
Finish the mission.
Career.
She needed a distraction
Because
from her normal topper life.
I am 16, and I already know what the rest of my life is gonna look like. It's gonna be stupid yacht clubs filled with hollow people making useless small talk, and I feel like if I don't get out of the bubble right now, I never will.
and then by the time
Yeah, they're so into each other.
we've got a job.
They want each other so bad. They're gonna be right there. Yep.
folks. What's up, Red? I guess
Isn't it past your guys' call, man? I just want to talk.
Hey, just chill out, talk.
Yeah, that was some nice work you did on my boat.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Also, boy, you got a gun now, are you?
How do you...
Yo, are they just gonna beat the crap out of him? She's gonna pull the gun.
You hear me? I'm gonna give you one chance. One chance.
Get off of me!
Fire!
JJ!
man.
Why is that funny?
Hey, let's go, pal.
He's a smooth operator.
No, he's not. He's really clumsy. He does finger guns way too often. And he has absolutely no idea when to make the move.
You are dating someone, you absolute scoundrel.
You bad or weak? I'm on a treasure hunt.
She doesn't believe him.
And is that a picture of
Gold. This is how he bought the land. It's British gold. This is what was on the merchant.
Bada bing, bada boom.
So on the day he dies, he writes a letter to his son.
in a language I don't can understand?
Wait a minute.
Similarities. You could just Google, like, what was that, Gullah? Go on Google, like, Gullah translator.
So, what's it gonna be like when we get back?
Are you friends now? Like, what's the
Nothing
deal?
changes, I guess. I'll go back to the bubble.
Like, Topper? Back to the bubble?
She doesn't seem thrilled about that.
Had a really great day though.
Me too.
An arrest warrant for felony destruction of property. What? Keep your hands on the counter where I can see it. Wait. Shoot, what'd he do? Huh? Take a look at the warrant.
I'm sorry, you're arresting him?
Just arrest What's the proof?
I knew this would come back to bite him. JJ. I mean, he still did it, but this was JJ's idea.
It wasn't him! It was me! He tried to talk me out of it. But I was mad because he'd just been beaten up. I was so sick of those assholes from Figure 8 that I lost my shit.
I mean, they have video evidence of Pope doing it.
Shut up. He's a good kid. You know where I'm from? Yeah.
It's just on me.
I mean,
That's an old trick.
I'm glad that JJ's kind of taking the blame for this, but it was his fault to begin with.
Damn it, I'm asking for.
But also, in a typical, like, police investigation, like, JJ's confession means nothing because they have evidence of Pope doing it. I mean, like, or at least jumping from the boat. Like, they have that. I don't know. JJ's kind of making up for his own mistake here, but why is he so happy about this?
Really? That's it? Sarah, I just had the best day of my life.
You're gonna blow our cover.
Look, I don't care about my cover, Sarah. I don't care if my friends find out or your boyfriend with his frosty tips. Look, I can't pretend like this isn't real. Like,
Kiss,
this
kiss,
didn't
kiss,
happen. I'm
kiss,
sorry.
kiss,
I
kiss,
just-
kiss.
Woo!
Let's go! Gang, gang, John B, let's go. Yeah! Let's go! Typical kissing in the rain. Alright, now go dump Topper and incite some more conflict.
One island,
People are gonna find out.
so we have to be careful.
Yeah.
Dump your boyfriend. Dump your boyfriend right now. Call him. Like, it's over. Whew. I'm a little sweaty now. It's already hot here. That was a very rapidly developing relationship. I mean, there's been a little bit of tension all season there, but that was real quick. I'm here for it though. Is this Indra? She has the compass, right? Oh, she killed them? What? Who's this man? What? Who'd that be? Didn't Indra have the compass? Okay, so we had a fiery culmination of emotions there at the end. I was pretty hyped about that. Let's go, bud. But some huge things happened. So let's talk about the Pope JJ Topper Rafe storyline for a bit. So they pull up the boat that's going to cost what, 25-30K to deal with, because it's been underwater for 2 days roughly. And Topper is taking the blame. He's taking some heat from his mom. And we all know we all know what that feels like. The disappointment from your parent, the disappointment and blame and shame in that situation is real. Even if you didn't do it, like, it sucks being blamed for something. So he understandably is pissed off, right? I don't know if he would have been as upset if he wasn't just getting torched from his mom right there. I mean, obviously he'd still be upset, but then freaking, like, he's almost still willing to let it go. And then, like, weirdly, I like Topper more than I like Rafe now. Because he's talking about it with his boys while they're getting swole. And, like, he seems like he's gonna let it go. Like, he's almost even blaming Rafe for it. He's like, hey man, if you hadn't jacked this kid up the other day, I'd still have a boat. And, Rafe, being a butthole that he is like, no, we're gonna make this kid pay. And I mean, it's the whole situation's super frustrating because, like, one, it's all started, coming back to the beginning, the episode 1, when I was so mad at JJ for pulling a gun on the beach. Like, that indirectly or directly led to, I mean, a lot of the bigger issues driving Topper and Rafe were kind of like anger and disappointment coming from their parents, and they used that and previous conflicts to drive their current actions. So, like, in the beginning, JJ pulls a gun on Topper and, kind of sets this whole thing in motion. Like, they obviously already didn't like each other and they were willing to fight before, but, in terms of this specific conflict, it all kind of started with JJ pulling a gun, and then Rafe takes the anger and disappointment from his dad and kind of like the desperate situation he's in, while still coming down off like a drug high, and uses JJ pulling a gun. Like, that's just further excuse for him to jack up Pope in that situation. So they beat the crap out of Pope, and then, Pope's mad about it, but he's not gonna like do anything about it because he doesn't want to get in trouble. He doesn't want to lose his scholarship. And then JJ's like, no, dude, we're gonna hit him back. We're gonna sink their boat. And it's like, it's real hard to sympathize with JJ, even though he took the blame at the end. A lot of this is his fault. So I think he deserves to take the blame at the end. But they sink the boat, and then it comes up, and Topper's mom is pissed at him, which is probably seemingly a reoccurring thing for him, which might make sense as to why he's such a bully and because he's just consistently receiving this treatment from his mother, because the line where she was like, it usually is, like, she almost resents him and just blames him for a lot of stuff. And so he is taking that, and via Rafe's egging him on, and he's like, all right, we're gonna jack up Pope. And they do it. They beat the crap out of him, and then turns out there is video footage of them doing it. Like, I knew it when it was happening. I was like, this is gonna come back to bite him. They're gonna get caught. He got caught. Like, he did it. Pope should, like, definitely be in juvie right now. Like, that's felony destruction of property. It's a $200,000 boat. Like, that's a lot of damage. And like, Pope still did it. Like, it's still on Pope for making that decision. Like, he could have easily told JJ, no, like, I don't want to do that. But he still did it. But it still comes back to, one, JJ pulling a gun on them in the first episode, and then JJ convincing him to sink that boat. Like, JJ's gonna have to do some serious, like, rehabilitation as a character, because people like JJ so much, but honestly, like, the things he's doing, it pisses me off. It's so frustrating. Like, a lot of the conflict that is happening, I mean, obviously it's a long stemming conflict and both parties have to be involved in perpetuating it, but a lot of the specific things that are happening are a direct result of JJ's actions and his words and what he's convincing his friends to do. Like, so I'm not happy with JJ. And then, so the mom convinces him to press charges. Pope is technically arrested. I don't know what the charges would be, like the jail time or what would come of that charge, and how easily they would be able to prove that was him. Because they do. I assume that the thing that he was showing the mom wasn't just like a picture, but it was footage, like from a video. So they have video footage of this boat pulling up, Pope jumping out, getting on the boat, coming back, sinking the boat. So, like, theoretically, like, even though JJ at the end was like, hey, I did it, it's my fault, like, all the cop investigating that has to do is look at that footage and be like, that's not you. Like, you did not do that. We have footage, like, they have literal video footage of Pope doing it. So even if JJ is the one that's like, hey, I did it, he tried to talk me out of it, they can easily just be like, no, like, you're lying. And they can still go arrest Pope anyway. So it's very frustrating. Like, the whole thing is just, it makes me angry, especially with everything that's going on right now in the United States with the relation between police and African American citizens. It's like, JJ easily could have got, like, he could get Pope in so much trouble, or worse things could have happened because he convinced him to do that. And, you know, it's real hard to sympathize with JJ right now. Even when all the people in the comments are saying, oh, JJ's the best character in the show. Like, are you not watching the first 4 episodes of this show? Like, yeah, he may be quirky and kind of funny at times, but, like, some of the things he's doing are, like, super, like, not okay and really detrimental to his friends. Like, what happens with his friends, what happens with everything else. Like, he's doing things that are not okay. And it's hard to look past that, if I'm honest. And then, okay, yeah, and then the J-Bones and Sarah go on their little adventure. So he gets picked up from the cops and social services because he's going to be put in, like, a home or something. And he gets out of that but crashes his bike in front of Sarah, and she takes him to her house to get patched up, and then he sees this painting of this dude that was on the Royal Merchant. And he's like, that man's supposed to be dead. How is he here? How did he get that money? And so the theory is that this guy survived the shipwreck, went back and got all the money, and then bought this land and this plantation, and theoretically did something with the rest of the money, whether he used all of it to buy the freedom of slaves and incite a revolt, or what he did with the rest of it. But he was killed, and all his letters and his stuff was donated to a museum, or a library. So they got to go look at that. And, she's super willing to do this. She's like, I got to get the frick out of this island right now. I'm stuck in this bubble of rich people, and I don't enjoy it. I need to come with you. I'm coming with you whether you like it or not. And they've had this back and forth tension throughout the whole series so far, and to say it escalated is an understatement. People are saying they didn't have a history before, but I feel like this tension, it doesn't just come out of nowhere. They didn't just know each other. They talk like they didn't really know each other at all, but I feel like, I don't know, it feels like a lot of sexual tension for two people that really didn't know each other whatsoever. And there's a lot of weird, up until this point, there's a lot of weird underlying animosity almost between them, the animosity of people who used to be super close and aren't anymore. But people are saying they didn't have a past, so it's I don't know, it's weird. But they get in this boat, they're real sweaty. It had the super typical romance thing where they're in a tight space and then something shifts or someone trips or something, they get real close to each other. When that happened, I was really? And then they just have to make it super hot and sweaty in there, so he takes his shirt off, and it's okay. And they're having a grand old adventure together, and they're straight up on a date. This is the most romantic thing they could be doing. They buy each other clothes, they go shopping, they're checking each other out the entire time. They're super into each other, and they figure out potentially more information about what's going on. And then they're going back to the island, and they're talking to each other they're how are we supposed to go back to normal after the day we just had? Are you gonna go back to your boyfriend? We're clearly into each other. What is the procedure now? How do we go forward? And it's raining at the end, like it's The Notebook or something. And she starts going back, and he's like, hey, I just had the greatest day of my life with you. That's a little bit of an overstatement. Was it really the greatest day of his life? Who knows? He's trying to make some moves, and he's like, you can't just pretend that we didn't just basically act like a married couple the entire day. We're clearly so into each other, and you're about to go pretend that this never happened. He's like, I can't do that. And that sways her to just go make out with him. And so that's how many guys she's cheated on now? That's a few. She's got an issue with that, and she needs to address that. That's even though it's with J-Bones, and we're happy about that. I was pumped when that happened. I was like, yes, vindication. I think she still needs to address that character flaw. And at the very minimum, she needs to go back to Topper and be like, hey, I can't do this anymore. We can no longer be together. But something about her words almost made it seem like she's not going to do that. She was like, this is a small island, we need to be careful, or something along those lines. It almost makes it seem like she's planning for this to be some like secret relationship where she's still dating Topper, but like on the side she's seeing John B. That would frustrate me because, one, I don't like Topper. I don't want her to be with him. Like, selfishly, I'm like, don't date that guy. Like, date the main character. And it makes it harder for me to sympathize with her and like her as a character if she's just like on the low, like willing to cheat on someone, like openly, I guess. Like, I don't know. It makes it harder to sympathize with both those characters, John B. and her. Like, because even though you want them to be together, like she's still with another person. I feel like the best thing for her to do would be to end that relationship and then proceed into a different one. I don't know though. So there's that relationship. So like big dynamics within the Pogues are changing, with one of them now being in jail because he took responsibility for the actions of one of the others. So like there might be some tension going forward with them if they reconnect, but at the same time, like he convinced him to do it, so like that adds to the tension there. You know, Kiara's probably like she burned down a canvas thing to stop this painting. Like, you know, now she's got that whole like she's in the middle of that in their whole conflict, and then she's probably got more stuff going to be coming at her from her dad, where, you know, he's gonna be like, hey, look, your friend just is now in jail, like you're not allowed to hang out with these kids anymore. And then J-Bones is gonna come back from the best day he's ever had, and, you know, his best friend's gonna be in jail, and his other friend's just gonna be pissed off because, you know, things are happening that, you know, he should have been taken in for. And like the whole dynamic between all of them is just like just detonated from this episode. And then we find out that the bad dudes, they were officially murdered. It was declared a homicide. And that was, it was declared a homicide because they were killed with a fish hook type thing, and then thrown into the water for the sharks to get, kind of to cover their tracks a little bit. And we don't know who did it, like who killed them. But then at the end, it shows, you know, someone putting that compass into, you know, a bait box or whatever, and then they also have a fish hook. And if I remember correctly, didn't John B. give the compass to Indra, the cop? So like, was she the one that killed those men? Or like, what's going down here? Like, how did whoever that was get the compass? And who is it, first of all? Like, why did they kill the bad guys? Like, what's going down with that whole situation? Where's the money? Like, what is happening here? This was a heated episode, both very high highs with the J-Bones and Sarah situation, and then really low lows. Like, I can't understate how frustrated I am with the JJ and Pope situation. Like, the things that they did and what it's led to is just, it's so frustrating. I don't know, man, but I think that's all I got. If you liked what you saw, either in terms of my reaction, a lot of you might not be happy with how I feel about JJ, you know, that's fine. But if you liked anything else, please leave a like on the video. Please subscribe. That helps so much. Check out some of my other videos on the channel if you get a chance. But yeah, otherwise I will catch you guys next time. Peace.